A shooting in broad daylight near A.W. Willis Avenue and Front Street in downtown Memphis Saturday morning has some Bluff City residents wondering if the National Guard coming will change the city's crime reputation.
No, it ain't gonna bring the change that we need to see, but it might help with the crime a little bit. But change, it's gonna take more than some police to come down here for to change the city.
We're going to Memphis.
Yeah, Todd, right now they're setting up for a concert behind me on Beale Street. It's a place where tourists come from all over the country, all over the world even, especially now during Elvis Week. But the city is grappling with a crime wave that's made it, as you mentioned, one of the most deadly in the country. Memphis is the homicide capital of America, and the numbers back it up.
This morning, the green light has been given for the National Guard and other federal law enforcement to be sent to Memphis, Tennessee.
We're not going to allow this kind of savagery to destroy our society anymore.
President Trump late yesterday establishing a task force in Memphis to crack down on crime, similar to actions recently taken in the nation's capital.
The effort will include the National Guard as well as the FBI, ATF, DEA, ICE, Homeland Security Investigations, and the U.S. Marshals.
We shouldn't have to walk out the door feeling like we're in a militarized zone. That's right. This is not the Gaza Strip.
FBI figures show Memphis ranks first in the country in the rate of violent crime.
The Memphis Police Department is highlighting two bold new initiatives to keep fighting crime and to get repeat offenders off the streets.
They took their mind is in the feds. So he was watched on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? They look at him like a menace to society, you know what I'm saying, in Memphis. You know what I'm talking about? So CEO Jizzle really got to get out for you.
Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
Get ready for little baby.
It's your boy, Lil Baby.
Live at the FedExForum.
Love baby. I know he never gonna. Yeah, that's my favorite. I know he never gonna come back to Memphis.
So try to imagine this. It's just another ordinary night in Memphis, a packed arena, flashing lights everywhere, the entire crowd vibing, trying to escape whatever is waiting outside those arena doors. But right there, inside of the FedExForum, the same stadium that Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies would use to dazzle fans. And in between the bass and the bass line, the night would change from ordinary when gunfire would erupt. The music cuts off. Some in the crowd start screaming. Others begin running. Police rush the floor. And somewhere in the VIP section, somebody is hit. A high-profile shooting inside one of the biggest, if not the biggest, venues in the city in front of thousands of people. And by the next morning, the footage is everywhere. News channels, social media, rumor pages, all asking the same question. What really happened at the arena that night? And how was somebody able to get a gun inside? But for some in Memphis, I'm sure that wasn't some wild twist and probably looked at as business as usual. Another night and another reminder that the violence that the city has been trying to bury keeps showing up where the lights are the brightest.
All of An arrest has been made in that shooting that happened inside the FedExForum earlier this month. This was all during a Lil Baby concert. You might recall it left a Memphis rapper injured.
Fox 13's Lakia Scott is joining us live. Lakia, you have more information about the person who's been arrested?
That's correct. I'm learning the suspect's name is Kevin Young. He is 22 years old. According to police, he goes by the name Kato 2 times. Now, you may recall that shooting happened here at the FedExForum about 3 weeks ago during a Lil Baby concert. Now, here's what I've been able to find out about the suspect tonight and that arrest. Now, police went to an address Wednesday in the 2000 block of Duncanshire Road and arrested Young. I've also dug into Young's charges based on Shelby County records. Young is charged with reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, unlawful possession of a weapon in a public place. He also faces 9 deadly weapons possession charges to commit a crime and charges of 9 unlawful weapons charges. Now, there were a couple of drug charges also on that list, and we've also looked into Young's priors. Now, one that stood out, a 2017 first-degree murder charge linked to the murder case of a 17-year-old. We'll hear more from the DA about that case coming up in a moment, but I did speak with people who frequent this downtown area who say they heard about the FedEx shooting and they're tired of battling the same problems.
But here's the thing though. What happened inside of that arena that night wouldn't just echo through Memphis. It came at a time when the city's murder rate, aggravated assaults, and viral shootings were most likely discussed at the FBI's 2024-2025 Violent Crime Reduction Strategy meetings. And to federal officials, Memphis had become a case study in urban violence, a city overflowing with gun cases, repeat names, and a revolving door of arrests, with the goal of those meetings not to just apprehend criminals, but also to make examples. And through those new federal initiatives, a high priority individual would soon emerge on their list, allegedly one of the city's most notorious and violent repeat offenders. And it would be through these exact initiatives drafted that they would use to make him the federal face card.
I see them X's on the wall, nigga. Y'all know where we at, nigga. Fuck you talking about. See them X's on the wall, nigga. You know where we at, nigga. Yeah. See them X's on the wall, nigga. Where you at? He like in the gates, duh. See them X's on the wall, where we at? Be we here? Yeah. I ain't know shit, I just try to see what them folks out here, man. Folks ain't out here, man. I'm gone, man.
These folks just got the f***ing shooting. These folks just got the shooting at the concert in Memphis. Now, out of all the cities we go to, Memphis.
God, this shit. They shot who? Who they shoot?
The one that took Migo chain.
Who they shoot?
Real or not? Right in front of me. Let's go.
What the f? Cuz these folks just got their gun in the arena, fool.
As soon as Jizzle hit the, he pulled it out. Bah! He out of here. He on the ground, they stomping, they done ran over.
What the insane?
That's yeah. It's right here next door.
Yes, y'all, Memphis is ghetto. We've been on this tour the whole time, and today they want to shoot. It ain't been a shootout in every one of these shows.
I seen so many of the folks when I seen Young Mob, I seen all the cliques down there, paper route, everybody was down there on the floor.
I'm on live.
But I ain't gonna lie though, I don't know, bro. I just been lit like I'm for sure. Whenever my time comes, I'm going down in the history book. I'm telling you, I'm going down in Memphis history for sure.
I feel like you talented.
Now look, bro. I went live. I just got out live on both of my Instagram. Bro, I went live. I was listening to some unreleased. Them folk blocked both of my just. I can't go live to chain wear. They say I promote violence. Yeah, they say I promote violence. I was just listening to my music.
What you was saying while you listened to your music?
I was rapping the song. I was saying what the song was saying, the lyrics.
Must have some graphic things in there.
I can't remember. I don't know what song I was listening to.
Oh, shit on it, man. You got some numbers with it, man.
Talking all that gangsta shit, but you ain't from the street. Switches bullets coming fast, hit you before you blink. Switches bullets coming fast, hit you before you blink. 100 on my head, come on, bro, quit being cheap. Nothing on your head, but I'm gonna kill you once you beat.
Now, nobody is really gonna ask why the feds specifically chose Memphis, because the assumption feels too easy. It's violent, end of story. But that assumption kind of hides the part that really matters, because even those that really feel like they understand the city's violence don't realize how sharply it changed and how fast. So for 20 years, Memphis would sit inside what locals would learn to accept as its normal danger zone, somewhere between 150 to 230 murders per year. Still one of America's deadliest cities, but kind of a danger that people would learn how to navigate. And then 2020 hit. Most major cities would see an increase in violence as the world would begin to open back up. But Memphis would take it to another level, because the numbers wouldn't really just rise, they would explode. And it would be a shift so sharp that even a city that was used to danger could kind of feel the difference. Whatever balance once existed was now gone. And all you have to do is look at the numbers to see what the federal government was seeing. In 2019, though high, the city would only have 190 murders. By 2020, that number would jump to 332. It would continue to rise the very next year in 2021 with 346 murders, which would lead to the most violent year in Memphis history, 2023, where the city would record nearly 400 murders, with 397, which would go on to mark the deadliest year the city has ever recorded. And it seemed like what would once shock the streets will become routine. So it's not like Memphis slid into violence. It jumped and it never came back down. And just to put it in perspective a little bit, by 2023, it wasn't just a U.S. crime story anymore. Memphis's homicide rate was nearly double that of the national rate of Mexico, a country that America constantly paints as a war zone. Images on the nightly news constantly tell Americans to fear Mexico, but the real danger was happening here, right under their noses. And when we're talking about that time frame in general, the state of Tennessee's 2021 permitless carry law wouldn't help one bit. It was like pouring gasoline into a volcano. And disputes that probably used to simmer down over time would start to end with somebody's family planning a funeral. And that violence before the pandemic that once felt familiar will become unrecognizable. And during that time frame, Memphis will become more than dangerous. It will become a national warning sign, proof that the threat wasn't just somewhere else. And eventually, Washington, D.C. noticed, and that's when the federal government would announce a new plan.
The Memphis Police Department is highlighting 2 bold new initiatives to keep fighting crime and to get repeat offenders off the streets. Our Sydney Gray learned more about its aggravated assault prolific offender initiative. She joins us to explain how the effort is already working. Sydney.
Hey there, Kelly. Well, we first heard about this aggravated assault prolific offender initiative from Chief CJ Davis during that press conference yesterday at the new downtown command center. Well, today we met with department officials to understand more about how MPD is catching the people they say are the biggest crime drivers in the city. Back in January, MPD launched its domestic violence prolific offender initiative. It was designed to bring some relief to DV survivors and identify repeat offenders. It led to more than 100 DV-related arrests. Because of its success, the department launched the same initiative for assault, aggravated assault. Recently, MPD arrested the 2 men you see on your screen, Justin Stewart and Markel Rainey. Both MPD says are known gang members and serious crime drivers. Well, today I spoke with Forrest Edwards, investigative counsel for MPD, and he says after the week of devastation the city's seen, he hopes arrests like these show a light of hope when it comes to fighting crime in the city.
So many times people think that we are so inundated with crime that some people can just slip through the cracks. The target of this initiative is to make sure that we are looking at the worst of the worst, and that we will dedicate and utilize every single resource in state, local, and federal government to ensure that you're held accountable for any crime that you commit in our city.
Edwards also told me because of this new technology with their work with other agencies like the U.S. Attorney's Office, the FBI, and DA's office, he expects this aggravated assault prolific offender initiative to make a major difference when it comes to fighting crime in Memphis. Well, as the initiative continues, Edwards did say the police department cannot arrest its way out of the city's crime problem. He also says it's a community effort and encourages people to speak up when they see something. In studio, Sydney Gray, back to you.
At 10.
This initiative bolsters that effort by leveraging every resource that we have within the department to seek and apprehend these violent offenders.
New at 10, Memphis police cracking down on repeat offenders with 2 initiatives aimed at keeping these crooks off the streets. The department says it's already getting results. In fact, since January, aggravated assaults are down 16%.
So when the federal government steps into a city, everything changes. Memphis was no longer just a local crime problem. It would become a federal test case. Not because violence was new there, but because the people driving it kept showing up in every case. The aggravated assault initiative wasn't designed to wait for bodies. It was built to cut the chain reaction early. A gun pulled, a trigger squeezed, a retaliation already waiting in the wings. So how that works is once your name enters the federal database, every new incident could become a federal charge. So that meant no more local court loopholes or no high-profile state attorney getting you off, just national punishment. And this specific strategy isn't just limited to Memphis. The same federal surge is already expanding into other violent hotspots: St. Louis, Missouri, Jackson, Mississippi, and Hartford, Connecticut. Cities where the patterns look familiar: repeat names, repeat guns, and repeat funerals, like a chain reaction that no one but the federal government could stop. And that's where Jaylen CEO Jizzle Jordan comes into this story. To the streets from the east side of the city to the south side of the city, and to the Memphis music scene, his face was already recognized. Some people knew him from his connection to the late Big Scar. Others probably saw him around Kenny Money or even Stupid Duke. He would refer to himself as a high-ranking member of Double R or Rich and Ruthless, and he seemed to be really closely tied to the young mob, especially during the Moneybag Yo and Finesse 2 Time situations. And besides his criminal history, that visibility made him known. And it wasn't just to fans. Local police had already categorized him as a violent repeat offender, the exact type the aggravated assault initiative was written for, meaning his history included assault-related and weapons-related charges, offenses that now in Memphis would automatically trigger federal escalation the next time his name would appear in a report. So when he was allegedly caught with a handgun modified with a switch, that alone would mark him as a violent repeat offender under those federal standards. So with his connection to Memphis's music scene, which turned deadly over the past years, his connection to the streets and criminal history, when you add something as high profile as what happened on September 7, 2023 inside the FedExForum, it turned the crime scene into national news. Even though he was the one shot, with those kind of connections I mentioned earlier, sometimes you can get looked at like the perpetrator. A 22-year-old by the name of Kevin Young, also known as Kato 2 Times, who seems to be a close associate of CEO Jizzle and even referenced as his brother online, was later arrested for firing a weapon during the chaos at the forum. But a lot of the online talk point to another name as the shooter, Javante J. Hot Newsom, a person tied to a rival circle of CEO Jizzle and known to be closely tied to the rapper Big 30, who CEO Jizzle had online feuds with in the past.
A man is dead following an overnight shooting that left residents looking for answers. It happened on Janetta Street in southwest Memphis. WREG's Kwamitra Wilburn has that story.
It was a quiet Sunday morning in the area of Janetta Street and Charter Avenue in southwest Memphis. However, behind the closed doors of these homes are people looking for answers. Memphis police say just before 11:30 Saturday night, a man was shot in the 4700 block of Janetta Street. He died at the hospital, and his killer was nowhere to be found.
I'm sorry that happened, but they knew.
We spoke to several residents. None of them wanted to go on camera for safety reasons. One man told us off camera that the victim was walking when someone came by and opened fire. One of those bullets landed inside this home. Another man who lives near the crime scene says criminal activity is common.
About 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you supposed to be inside or you gonna be dead. You gonna be dead. This ain't no pretty neighborhood.
We briefly spoke to the mother of the victim who came to the scene to see the spot where her son was gunned down. She was too distraught to go on camera, but says no one has given her any answers. This is the second deadly shooting to hit this community within a 2-day time frame. Thursday night, 2 men were shot and killed in the area of Shelby Drive and South Haven Road, which is half a mile away from this latest homicide. No arrests have been made in that shooting. The man we spoke to says most people are often too afraid to come forward with information.
You got neighbors that'll shoot through your window to get you. This ain't a safe neighborhood.
Reporting for your news leader in southwest Memphis, Kwamitra Wilburn, WREG News, Channel 3.
About a year later, Jay Hot was shot and killed on Janetta Street in South Memphis. There were multiple rounds fired, and he was declared deceased at the scene. There were no details and no answers, just another life lost in a city drowning in gunfire. And this is where the picture kind of becomes unavoidable, because it will be killings exactly like this the year prior, events like the high-profile shooting at the FedExForum, and the record-breaking murder total in 2023 that will push the city of Memphis directly into federal spotlight. The aggravated assault initiative would be one of the responses, a change of the rules in a city where it seemed like the old rules weren't working. So when the feds would identify certain targets, they wouldn't really pick a name out of a hat. They would look for people who were already at the center of the chaos. And CEO Jizzle pleading guilty to a 4-year sentence kind of shows the irony of the situation. He was probably the highest profile victim and the highest profile shooting during the deadliest year Memphis ever had. But when the feds came to town, he was one of the first people targeted. Y'all make sure y'all hit the red bell and subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when this real Trill Spill shit is dropping. Y'all get in the comment box below. Y'all let me know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what we missed. Definitely tell me what I got wrong. Y'all tapping with me on Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. And until our next jug, y'all know how we rocking. Shades Popalot. Salute the almighty mob.